Okay, just waiting for confirmation that we're live. Ooh, comments just all of a sudden came in that hadn't loaded. Let's see.
Don't you just love when that happens?
I know. We are live. Woo!
Hi, everyone.
Good morning. So I'm Zara. Thank you for coming to my channel this morning for a live stream. I'm a self-published author of young adult paranormal romance, and I also host writing streams every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to let my guest introduce herself.
Hi, guys. My name is Rebecca. I have ADHD, and I'm a writer, so I talk about that on my channel. I'm also kind of self-published. It's a little weird, but yeah, I do writing things, so I'm on Instagram and YouTube. Yeah.
Her channel is linked down below. I will be asking you about your kind of self-published because I want to know what the kind of is.
Yeah, I mean, so I started professionally writing in high school, and I had an internship with a local magazine that did little published sort of things. And so I have some writing in a local magazine that was published, so it's kind of like published.
I would say that's traditionally published.
Yeah, I mean, a little. I mean, it was an internship, so it was like I was publishing it in the magazine, if that makes sense, because I was the editorial intern, so.
Yeah. Still traditional, though. It's not like
you
did it yourself. Give yourself the credit of a traditional.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was
there's
just
nothing wrong with self-publishing, obviously, but like.
No, of course not. Jeez, no, it's hard enough to do any publishing at all.
Yeah. I had a short story, I guess published through a small press as part of a anthology. And I'm always curious. I'm like, I mean, it's not self-publishing, but like, I don't know if it's big enough to be called traditional publishing.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't know what to call it. Like small press publishing, maybe? I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, I'm going to explain how the Forest app works for people who are maybe here for the first time. Right after I go through everyone. So good morning, Ashley. Good morning, Alice. I replied to Kelly in the chat. She might already be off sleeping. I hope she is for her sake because her daughter kept her up a lot last night.
I know.
Hello, the Luke Skywalker too. Nice handle. My mom loves Star Wars. Good morning, Devin, Bella, Petra. I always see your name, then I'm always feel like I'm saying it wrong. Sometimes you're like, oh, you said it right, but I had said it like 3 different ways. So,
how would you pronounce that otherwise?
Petra? I feel like that's wrong.
I don't think it's Petra. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard Petra.
Yeah. Hello, CB. Better days are here, Zellers. Good morning. Cheryl, good morning. Have you ever been to a stream of mine before? I don't think so, but
I recognize the icon.
Yeah, but I don't think on my stream. Like,
yeah, maybe not. I've definitely seen Cheryl around though.
Yeah. Hello, Shankurti. Good morning, Eva. Eva's like everywhere. Which is what people used to say about me, and like since I've started live streaming, I've cut back.
I know. Eva and Devin, I always see them. I'm just like, wow, I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah, I used to, and then it was just like, I don't know. I mean, technically I could still be doing all the streams and just using them for like productivity, not always writing.
Yeah.
So I might just start doing that again. I show up to like certain people's a lot, but some people like cut back too.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, I don't know. I feel like this year has been weird because while we're not doing anything, we're also doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's just been like, I don't know if I should be doing like, or going on a stream right now because I'm only going to be half paying attention and I'm not going to be using it for writing. And then I'm just going to walk away and forget that it's going and then it's going to end. And
No, no, no. It'll be fine. Let's see. I'm not really good with fan fiction. I don't know about you.
No, I'm not. I've never really done fan fiction.
Yeah, I haven't either. I feel like a lot of people on AuthorTube regularly say like, "Oh, everyone got started in fan fiction." And I'm like, I
Yeah.
didn't.
No, I didn't either. I got started like literally I asked my mom to teach me to write when I was 3. So I was just doing like the typical like and it was all a dream stories. Like that was my start.
I did like a princess one. Like I
Yeah.
apparently like told my mom a story and she wrote it down and she has it in some file.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
still
looked at
have
it in a
like
while.
yeah, and it's like not even full sentences probably. I went back and looked at some of mine from when I was like in elementary school because I kept them all in a little binder because I was that nerd.
Yeah. Oh, I was too.
So I have all those and it's like not even full sentences. Like not even.
I got like that from like my mom and my grandma. Like they keep everything I've written.
Yeah, the pack rat.
But like I don't have really old things like where I keep my writing. Like my mom has the really, really old stuff. Like she has the archive, whereas I'm like that. This is a story I put aside because I have other stories, but like I'm gonna go back to it. So that's what I have. So sorry, that wasn't much help, CB. Good morning, Daj Hannah. I butchered that. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. I apologize. I always try to get people's names correct, but it's also just so hard when like it's this.
They'll correct you. We'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Bella's school used to do anthologies. One word prompt for, yeah. Cool. I'll have to dig it out wherever it is and try not to cringe at 11-year-old writing.
You're gonna cringe. It's
I
gonna
think I wrote
happen.
my first story when I was like 7 or 8, and it wasn't fan fiction, but it was a clear like ripoff of Nancy Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all stories when you're that young were just like a kind of a ripoff. I mean, like, no, I know what you mean, where it's not fan fiction, but it's definitely inspired by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are talking about being in anthologies. She's supposed to, but she's not here yet. I should message her again.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah.
I think honestly she may have just slept. Like who knows what happened last night? Like maybe she couldn't sleep and finally fell asleep or something. So we're gonna see. We're gonna try and get her in here.
Yeah. I try to hop in and say, hey, at least I only actually write with streams 2 days a week. Sunday isn't one of them. Been isolated since March. Yeah. I don't always write at every stream, like especially this past week, maybe like the past 2 weeks as I was like gearing up for grad school to start. And then once grad school started, like I was using it mostly as like socialization and like to get more coins in the Forest app to unlock more trees. Like I wasn't necessarily writing every single time. Oh, I forgot to ask you, what are you working on today, if you want to share?
So I'm probably not. I'm actually not going to be working on writing. I'm going to be doing my makeup. So you guys get to watch that process because I have to go to a couple of interviews today. So,
ooh, good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, when did you start grad school?
Today is Sunday. I started on Wednesday.
Okay, that's when my partner started too.
Yeah, and my video that went up on Friday, I had filmed it on Wednesday. So in my video, I'm like, oh, I start grad school in an hour. And some people are like, oh, good luck. And I was like, I realized while editing, I probably filmed on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So like it's clear that I'd already started, but like, whatever. I've had 2 classes.
Yeah.
Because there are no classes on Friday.
Yeah.
For my program, which is really nice.
Yeah. I don't know. There are a lot of programs right now where there are no classes on Friday. Like my partner doesn't have class on Friday either.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a grad school thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I just know, like, for a really long time, I never planned on going to grad school. And then I heard about this program and I was like, oh, I'll apply for shits and giggles. Not for free, unfortunately, but like,
I know.
if I get in, like, this will be amazing. And if I don't, then I go to my, like, what had been my plan all along, which was to, like, then just try and get a job. But then obviously the world was crazy.
Yeah.
So it's probably better that I'm in the program.
That's what I've been thinking about too. I was like, no, I really don't want to go to grad school. Like ADHD makes it hard enough to do regular school. I can't imagine going to grad school. And then this year I was like, might not be the worst idea.
Well, also I just like, I love learning and I like
too.
writing. I'm weird. Like, I don't mind writing papers, but I don't like doing everything for a grade, which is why like I love internships, because it's like I'm doing work that I enjoy, and
it's not the pressure of like, is it going to be an A? Is my GPA going to tank if this goes wrong?
It's like, did you do a good job?
Yeah, exactly.
Or did you really fuck up? And if you really fucked up, like, can you talk to your boss about it?
Yeah, exactly. You can't just like reason with your teacher
on that project.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I'm on the same boat where it's like, love learning, don't like doing it under the pressure of school. Just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, Brandon. Cheryl is working on Q4 goals today. That's so, like, it's so true, but it's also so weird for me to conceptualize that, like, obviously we're in September because I started school, but like at the same time, it's like, how are we this far into the year?
Like, I literally don't know. I don't know how we survived this year.
It's like April ended, and then all of a sudden people are talking about Camp July, and I was like, no, that's like too soon. And then it was July. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I did not expect this year to go on this long. So the fact that we're in September, I'm just like, wait, we're alive right now? This is real?
Okay, I'm going to quickly explain how the Forest app works.
Yep.
Okay, Amara is on her way, she said. So when she comes, she will come in. It's 9:13. So normally I try to do 3 20-minute sprints, but I would kind of like to wait for her so she could introduce herself.
Fair enough.
Or try to. Depending on the time, she might have to introduce herself after the first sprint. We shall see. But if you have the Forest app, and it needs to be paid, which is, sorry, I should be getting a deal from them, given how many people I've got to buy the app. But they're like, we'll get back to you, and they haven't. So if you have the app, at the top there's a flame and a icon of a single person. You need to tap it so that you turn on Plant Together mode, and then and then at the bottom you see join room and create room. I will be creating the room, and you will be putting in the code that I pop up onto the screen. So I'm going to set it up. It will not be started yet. I wrote down what trees we were going to do today and then forgot. Okay. So I let my guests pick, and then I was pick one. So Rebecca, you picked the celestial tree.
Yeah.
And I'm going to type in the code, and then I'm going to read what some other people are talking about, are going to work on today.
Paperback pens. 2020 has felt like an entire decade.
Yeah. Devin's going to be eating breakfast. My mom is really nice to me all the time, but especially on days that I'm streaming. She almost breakfast.
Oh, that's so sweet.
At my room to make sure it looks good for a stream. That's my camera charger.
Pushes it out of the way.
Normally I'm better. It's okay. It's like
no, I feel you. Literally, my entire setup right now is like, hold on, let me even see if like all of this I'm just like, nope, let's just not have a background.
Yeah. I live in the city, so I apologize.
Oh, that's probably gonna happen here too. I'm surprised it hasn't already.
Yeah. I mean, I've lived in Boston, so a lot of people are in the group. We're probably going to start in a few minutes, just so that we can fit in the sprints. I'm not dying of COVID. Alice is going to be working on a bunch of different projects today. Eva is cleaning up docs and photo files. Yeah, I do that every so often.
Something serious is happening.
I live near a hospital.
Oh no.
And also near not like near a hospital, but near enough that like
it's yeah.
And then near some government housing, so I feel like oftentimes they're going to the hospital.
Yeah. Oh no.
So, I don't know. Ashley's working on some drafting and outline notes. Last night, I finally finished typing up my manuscript that I lost the computer file for in December. I actually had printed out. And I was like, I told my mom,
heart just leapt into my throat when you said that.
Yeah. It was the first time ever, and I was just like, never, ever again. So now everything's backed up on like multiple clouds.
Yeah.
But my mom was like, oh, I could have typed it for you. I was like, not really. Like, I would have had to give you my laptop because my Scrivener's on it, and I need a laptop for like school. So I finally.
Well, congratulations on that. Thank God you had it.
Oh my God. It's like, normally I don't print out my stories, but I had kind of gotten stuck with that story anyway. So I printed it out and I was like, oh, the different like medium will help me. And it did, but in a different way than I was expecting.
Maybe we just need to start keeping hard copies. I started doing that because it was just like,
Sage, good morning. Thank you. Just dropping a like. Yes, if you are here and feel so inclined, please like the stream. It really helps my channel out. But no pressure. Luke doesn't have a phone despite desperately wanting to. I'm so sorry. I feel like, I don't know, like not having a phone in this day and age.
I don't know how that works. I don't even remember not having a phone at this point because it's just like, what did you do? Did you just hope nothing happened? Like
I know. Well, like my mom growing up, like didn't have like cell phones.
Exactly. Yeah.
And she was like, we would just play in the neighborhood.
Okay, but like now there are all those shows about kids being kidnapped and you have no clue where they are because there's nothing to track them.
My mom was also the generation where like, did you ever
Latchkey Kid?
Yeah, she was a latchkey kid. Also, did you ever read the book, The Face on the Milk Carton?
Yes.
Yeah. I read that book and I was like, first of all, I don't get it. I explained what it was. And then I read the story. I read a lot of books like very young where I'm like, it's a wonder I didn't grow up more paranoid than I did. Like I read that. I read The Lovely Bones, even though people in my family were, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, my friend read it. And then like, I was like, oh, and then I'd read Speak.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, both of them are very upsetting. I don't know if one's more upsetting. One involves murder too. So I guess The Lovely Bones is more upsetting.
I don't know. I'm the same way.
I look back and I'm like, how was on the milk carton a middle grade book?
It shouldn't have been. That scarred me for life. I swear. Now I'm like, if I ever have a kid, I'm putting a tracker on them.
I know. At least Speak was meant for high school students. I just happened to read it like early.
I feel like that's always the case with writers, though. It's always you read way too early.
Well, also, like, I had cousins who are older than me, so they would recommend books, but most of the time they're like, oh, Harry Potter and, like, The Golden Compass, which was, like, really heavy religious tones, but, like, none of us are really religious, so.
Yeah, my family was when I was growing up. They're not anymore, thank God. But not that religion is bad. It's just that the religion we were in was pretty intense.
Okay, hold on, wait. She said she's here, but I don't see her, so I'm going to quickly reload the studio and hope that doesn't ruin the whole thing.
Oh God, am I the only one showing right now?
I don't see her.
What did she say? Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Because reloading it normally fixes it. We will try to work this out. We're going to start the sprint soon, though, in a second, regardless of, and then I'll spend this sprint trying to get her in.
We'll work it out.
Working research for the third book of your trilogy. Yeah, I write a lot of trilogies. Going to get tea and then work on this Milwordy. Oh, I need 8,000 words to catch up.
Okay,
hello.
Hi.
Okay, Amara, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amara Franklin. What else should I say?
She has a YouTube channel that's linked down below.
Me too.
And it's 6 o'clock in the morning here, so my brain.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm so sorry. I set an alarm and then I just didn't listen to it because I think my sleepy brain went off and I was like, why is there an alarm going off? I don't work today. And then
I've slept through alarms before. And my mom will come in, she'll be like, you wanted to wake up at this time. And I'm like, I did. I clearly didn't, though.
My mind did, but my body did not.
It's like my mind last night wanted to. My mind this morning and my body this morning were not on board. Okay. Regina, good morning. Need to spend cleaning up files. Okay, yeah. So multiple people are cleaning up their files. What I was going to say is a bit ago is that I use Clean My Mac by MacPaw and Gemini by MacPaw. And they're both really good at just quickly getting rid of shit that I don't use on my computer. Regina took yesterday off, so get me going today. Vampire sequel at 65,000. Ooh, congrats, 65,000. We're going to start really quickly. CB is saying email your story to yourself too. Yeah, that is what saved me for another story. Because I had been sending out the chapters to beta readers one at a time before putting the story on the back burner. So I had those chapters and their feedback. I was talking about how I lost a computer file earlier. I lost a computer file in December, but earlier in this discussion, I was talking about it, which is why that was said. Paperback plans. Okay, we will do a sprint. OMG, the Lovely Bones traumatized a generation of kids who are. Another one. The book that I read, was it after or before? It was probably after. Room by Emma Donoghue. They turned it into a movie with Brie Larson. Oh, if you want to be traumatized at any age, read that.
I don't know if I feel like being traumatized today.
Especially if you're a woman. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, people need 4,000 words. I need 8,000 words to catch up. So, but luckily I count schoolwork too. Okay, we're going, do you need the code, Amara? Do you use the Force app?
So I have to use my phone, and so I don't think I can be in the Force.
You can't. Another time.
I'll just be super productive. Yes.
What about you, Bax? Do you need your phone?
I have my phone, but I haven't paid for the app yet.
Okay, don't worry. We're gonna start the sprint in 3, 2, 1. I will set up the ticker and the timer on screen so people who don't have the app can do it. And I'm gonna mute all of us. sprint is over. We had some technical difficulties. I disappeared because I turned off my VPN because normally having it on causes an issue at some point, but turning it off reloaded the page. And then Amara disappeared at some point, and when I'd come back, I wasn't on mute. So thank you. I didn't see it for a while because I was doing homework during that sprint. I finished 1 out of my 2 readings. Your makeup looks really nice.
Thank you. It's getting there.
Okay, Paperback Pun said, "Oh God, not Room." Yeah, that's kind of my feeling. I can't watch. I refuse to watch the movie. I'm like, no thanks. I saw.
It's hard to believe that they make
the Lovely
movies out of
Bones
some
movie
things,
with my mom,
you know?
and then she left in the middle to take a phone call from her realtor. We were like moving into this place. We were like closing on this place.
Gotcha.
It was confirmation that we're gonna be closing, and like the other people who wanted the place were. That's okay. So she left me right before the scene. So I was in the movie theater.
Zara, no. Leave with her.
Yeah.
Leave with her.
I can't unmute you, Amara. You have to unmute yourself for some reason. Still says you're muted. It says your mic isn't connected, so I can't unmute you. That's it. I don't know. I always do it through my laptop, so I've never had these issues.
If you've like plugged in any headphones before, okay, if you plugged in headphones after you came into the room, you're going to have to re-enter the room with the headphones. Because that happens to me too. If I plug in headphones while I'm in the room, it'll make my mic not work for some reason.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's really dumb. It's stupid.
Thinking about it, there are so many middle grade books that were just very traumatizing. Yeah. Seeing this comment at the start of the sprint made me write that down as a video idea, not movie idea. Video idea for my channel. And
that'd be a great video. Do you remember scary stories to tell in the dark that people would read in like 3rd grade?
Oh my God. I read one and I was like, never again.
Yeah. I was that kid that read the whole thing, and then afterwards I was like, what have I done to myself?
I was like that with Room and like Speak and Lovely Bones. And the title I have for the video is Traumatizing Books I Read Too Young.
Yeah. No, for real. I swear.
Yay, your microphone's working, Amara, according to me. But you just froze.
Oh no, we had it working.
Luke is doing half Millwordy, so they need like around 4,600 words today, but like their total goal isn't as high as mine because I'm doing the full Millwordy. Or I'm trying. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I just decided when Millwordy came out, I was like, no, I'm not gonna participate in this torture chamber.
Well, like Sarah Lubrat had made a video. It was like, y'all are crazy. And then she made another video. So I'm doing Millwordy. Yeah, you are.
I just feel like that would put my ADHD in overdrive, and I would get even less done than I currently do. Because I would just be like, no, I got to do so much. And then I'd be like, oh, I can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah. See, like I'm hopping around on different projects, which I think is almost hurting me. So
yeah.
I was trying to be like Kate Kavanaugh, and like in my mind, I can't really hold more than 2 stories at a time. And I was trying to juggle 3, and I was like,
yeah.
So I'm going to go back to my 2 and maybe 1. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I can sometimes do the thing where I can do 4 or 5 stories at a time, but then other times I'm like, no, only one.
Oh, I can't.
Only one.
I can't do 5. This is my first time trying 3 that are unrelated to each other. Like when I was writing my trilogy, which I self-published and is linked down below. Like obviously I could have them in my head at the same time.
Yeah.
They were all connected. So Abigail, yes, we have the same last name by pronunciation, but we spell it differently. I have 2 F's and you have 1, and I have 1 N and you have 2. But that's very cool. And hi, Abigail's friend Adriana. First time giving a shout out to someone, so I feel like an official YouTuber. 406, awesome. Gazed down at my beautiful daughter and looked into her deep brown eyes. I remember what happened a year ago. Ooh, that's intriguing. Interesting. 260. Nice. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say. I'm not wearing any makeup. I normally don't wear makeup for my streams. I did in the beginning, and now I'm like, I could. I like how I look in my makeup. I'm just normally way too lazy to do it.
Same. Me too.
Abigail has those books. I'm assuming those stories to tell in the dark or scary stories to tell in the dark. Ashley loved them. Fear Street and Goosebumps. Goosebumps scared me. But I kind of feel silly for her because I feel like those were sillier than Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
They were, but at the same time, it was just like, it had more of the creep factor. Like, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was freaky, and it made you want to check around every corner. But yeah. Goosebumps was very much so like, what is in my closet? Like,
yeah. Also, my mind would take like non-scary stories and make them scary into nightmares if I like was really
me too
or something. So it's like I don't need to read things that are intended to scare you. I already do that to myself.
Yeah, me too.
Like I was reading Jane Eyre when I was like in 4th grade, and I had to stop because when everyone is really sick in the story, I had a nightmare that like Voldemort was in the hospital killing kids. And it's like, I know it's scary because it's Voldemort and not because the kids were sick in the hospital, but like I couldn't divorce myself from that until high school when I read the story.
Oh my gosh.
Like my brain is weird. I was like, no, I don't need to add scary stuff to it.
I was reading. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Amara.
Oh no, sorry. I was gonna say when I was like, I think in like 3rd grade, I rented or I checked out a book from the library, and it was like an Edgar Allan Poe story, and it was super scary. But I remember thinking the book was haunted, and that like all these bad things and all these bad dreams, and that all I needed to do was like return the book, and everything would be like okay in my life. And so and I was like 8.
That's so beautiful.
That's precious. That's so cute.
That's so cute. I'm gonna go quickly through the other comments so we can start the next sprint soon. Yeah, definitely tech gremlins. 400 so far. Congrats. What is Millwordy? Kate Kavanaugh extended the challenge to people to write a million, not 1,000. Wow, my God. I haven't had caffeine this morning.
I have had caffeine.
Oh my God, today is not my day. 1 million words in a year, and people in the past, she mentioned, have done it like with only novel writing, and she's like not doing that. She's including all of her writing, so including like nonfiction, and I'm counting like papers I have to write for school and things like that. And it's like writing, revision, editing. It's not just like drafting. So you can pad your count as much as you want with as many projects as you have, but it's still 1 million words in a year, and it's starting on September 1st. So like, it's a thing. It's hard. I knew it would be hard. I'm hoping to catch up at some point.
How many words a day is that?
It is 2,741 words a day. If you write every day, and she's trying to keep weekends, so her number went up, and she did it in her video, but given that math didn't apply to me, I don't remember it.
Oh, no.
No way.
478 words for that sprint. The only time what? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I think I've got like a bad connection. The only time I think I've even won NaNoWriMo was when I was able to count by like hours. So like, I don't think I could ever in like a year.
Yeah.
Maybe like in my lifetime.
I used to play Nano a lot more when I was younger, and once I hit college, it's like, Nano, you can try. And it's like, I do every time.
You gotta try Nano.
Yeah. I do it every time.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard, obviously. Petra got 478. Congrats. The Sarah Lubrat vlog was hilarious. Both of them were, honestly. Yeah, CB was saying you write 1 million words in a year. Ashley's trying to do 2 stories right now, but can't do more than that at a time. CB read, the only Goosebumps I read was Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. I didn't read that one, but that sounds funny.
I haven't read that one either.
That sounds funny, and I feel like I'd want to read it now, even though I just said I don't like scary stuff. Just because my mom like plays piano and I used to play piano, but like I never practiced enough really. Someone said something's on their wish list. Oh, masterclass, R.L. Stone's masterclass. Sylvia remembers watching The Exorcist and hiding the VHS in the other room. Wow. Because it could have been haunted.
Oh, it's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
Alice said it's over 3,800 a day if you want to take weekends off for Millwordy. Okay. I know it's 3,000 something, but I was like, I know it's more than 3,000, but I was like, does it reach 4,000? The answer is almost.
Pretty much.
Devin laughed at The Exorcist, and Cheryl is hoping to do a half Millwordy. Cool. And in the spirit of that, we're going to start the next sprint once I get everything set up. 20 minutes. And we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. That's the end of the sprint.
Yay!
How'd everyone do? I finished another part of my homework.
I pretty much finished my makeup.
Woo!
Now I have to move everything. Oh my god, okay.
I'm going to quickly go through comments. Paperback Puns correctly pointed out that some of Roald Dahl's books were messed up. The Witches, that movie, woof.
Oh yeah. I never watched that one purposefully.
CB doesn't like horror while Devin's addicted to it. CB said Milwordy is the equivalent of 20 NaNoWriMos back to back to back. Oh, 20.
Yeah.
And then I said it's more, but I had misread that as 12. So 20 might be the proper word count. So that's my bad. Regina said, don't give up on my piano practice. I haven't practiced piano since I was 10, so it's been 13 years. But and that's also mostly because the piano my mom and I have, like, it broke and then we got it fixed. But then we have a neighbor who's not a huge fan of loud stuff. So I can get back to it and I want to, but like with Milwordy and streaming and grad school, I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
I've read Sarah Plain and Tall, and I also saw a play adaptation of it. Have either of you guys?
I haven't read it. No.
I feel like
I normally remember all the books I've read, and I just don't remember the plot of it at all. Whoops.
just
Yeah.
Bella, I feel you.
Where?
She said, hey, I'm back. I may have forgotten that the stream was on, like the scatterbrain autistic that I am, and gotten excited from finding lots of old writing.
Oh, cool.
That happens to me all the time.
That's okay. Thank you for coming back. Finding old writing and being excited. Cool. I mean, as I was typing up my story, parts of it, I was like, oh, this is really good. And then there are certain things where I'm like, I have them doing this thing way too often. So I made it. Devin finished breakfast. Hello, Diane. We're going to do one more sprint. So I'm going to get that ready. 856 words.
Holy crap. In 20 minutes? That's crazy.
Oh my God. I want that. One time I wrote 745 words in 15 minutes, but that was like once and has not happened since.
Yeah. I like strive for that, but I always end up with like 200 or 300.
CB said they're stupid at math. I'm sure that's not true.
I can't really
You can't track words?
I'm writing a script. Like, you can't really track words, so I can just go based on like how far into the scene I've got, and if I think that's like progress or not.
Gotcha. 466. Great job, Petra. Math was my best subject in high school. I think English was my best subject, but math was my second best subject. Like, I break the like humanities STEM dichotomy, but because like science tests and history tests were almost equally hard for me because having to memorize the dates was always really hard for me, and then having to like memorize formulas were hard for me.
I was always the science and English person. So it was like science and English were pretty even.
I love science. It's just my grades never reflect it. Because if I got one right on the test, like another aspect of it somehow just wouldn't be right.
Yeah. I couldn't do chemistry because of the math aspect, but like anatomy, that was my ish.
I hate. And I remember like being in high school, and my dad got mad at me because I was always failing science and history. And back before I was born, he was a science and history teacher. So two subjects that I really had no like experience in.
Oh no.
Oh, that's funny. My mom's dad was a chemical engineer, and so he would help my mom and my mom's cousin like with science homework. So she was always pretty okay with that. Let's see. Hi, Chloe. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for coming. Deb, I already read that comment. Audrey got 211. Great job. CB said that the 856 might not be accurate. Well, whatever. We're going to go with it. Bella once wrote 8,000 in a day because she was 10K behind on Nano. Wouldn't recommend it. Hungry, drained, and the words weren't great. I mean, when you're in Nano, you don't need great words, which is something I try to tell myself, and it still doesn't make me write faster. Because I'd rather not write words that like I know I'm going to delete later, which is something that RP Winters made a video about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm very much so. So there was actually a live stream that Caro did, and she was talking about the book Writing in the Dark, where there's that whole thing where people always say, don't edit as you write, that's like the death of your writing. But Writing in the Dark is like, no, that's what I do, and it's actually gotten me through most of my writing much faster than most people. And I was like, thank God someone else does it, because
okay, I need to read that because I edit as I go, and not in like the whole thing necessarily, but like if I'm writing a chapter and I know there's something and I get an idea for like a previous chapter or even that chapter, I go back and add it.
I do too.
Like, I don't want to forget it later. And like if it's a huge thing that's going to change like a million things, that I write it down as a note. But like if it's like a minor thing where it's like, oh, here's some dialogue, or like, oh, here's a description of the thing, like let me put that in. I'm going to go back and do it. Like, why wouldn't I do a tiny tweak?
Exactly. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like that's way more efficient for me.
Like, if I don't like how a sentence reads, I'm not going to leave it.
Yeah.
If I think I can fix it. Like, if I get stuck and I'm like, I don't like how it reads, but I don't know how to fix it, then I move on.
You move on. But like, I don't know. I always feel like editing as I go makes me way more efficient, because then I just get caught up on the thing I want to edit.
So for me, I usually write like a paragraph like at the above of like everything that I want to change, and that's always worked for my novel. But when I was working the script has been such a just different experience, because that kind of stuff doesn't work. During NaNoWriMo, I found, because I was focused so much on just cramming so many words, that it made this whole project completely loaded with stuff that didn't need to be there, and it was setting off like just messing up the pacing. So I had to go back through and cut out probably half of what I wrote during NaNoWriMo, because it just didn't work, and the structure has to like, you have to be very on point. Like with a novel, you can just throw whatever you want and it can be as long as you need it to, but I have to fit in a 60-minute, like it's a 60-minute show, so I have to fit certain things in certain places, and I don't have room to just go off on long tangents like you can in any other project. So I think I ended up having to go from, I think I cut out like 12 pages of my scripts that I wrote in NaNoWriMo. So it was good though to kind of go back and edit, because I don't think I would have been able to leaving that stuff in.
That makes sense. Yeah. Like if I know something isn't working, I cut it. Like I maybe save it to another file. I know people say always save it, but I don't always. Like if it's I'll save it while I'm still writing the story in like another file. But like if I've done like 2 drafts and I know I don't like it at all, then I normally
Yeah. No, I do the same thing.
Abigail, the codes are for the Forest app. If you have it, the next sprint is basically ready to go. We'll start in a minute. That way we'll have 10 minutes at the end to just wrap up if we want, and we can end early if we want to. Hello. You're in time for the last sprint. People are saying hello to each other. Bella, nope. Already did that. English and history were Ashley's best. History, English, and music. Music was like I had chorus and I was always good at that. But like when we had to play violin in my school, like no one took it seriously. I took it seriously, but like because my classmates were goofing around all the time, like I wasn't able to get good at it. French, I was good at. Spanish never stuck in my head for some reason. Couldn't get it to stick. Had a guidance teacher who was prejudiced against kids with special needs. Oh, that's shitty.
Oh, God.
That's not cool. Yeah, okay. Alice also broke the STEM or humanities because likes doing everything. Honor roll with sciences and calculus. Jeez. That's a lot. Congrats, though. Okay, and people are talking about whether they edit as they go. So we're going to talk about that after, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. And that's the end of the last sprint. How did people do?
I got more coffee.
Cool. I was working on my outline for the second book in my trilogy, in one of my trilogies.
Nice.
But I realized I messed up the snowflake method. So I called ahead to something, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have to delete my words, but I have to go back and do the steps properly.
Yeah. Are you saying what this series is about, or is that just your little secret?
It's a new adult sci-fi romance with the
that's fun.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
The abduction happened in the first book, and I wrote the first one in April and July's Camp Nanos, and I have things I know need to happen, but there's so much of like getting from point A to B to C that I'm like, I need an outline.
Yeah. Are you usually a pantser?
Yeah. And I'm trying more and more to outline. And I made an outlining video on my YouTube channel about different outlining methods and like how different methods I think lend themselves to different types of my stories. But still outlining it all is still a struggle for me.
Yeah, I feel that. I would always do the thing where if I had to turn in an outline, I would write the paper first and then to make the outline from that. And it would frustrate my teachers so much. But it was like,
I made the outline.
I did it. It's not the proper method for me. Like, I don't know what you want.
I like outline my papers. It's easier for me to outline papers because I can be like, here's all the research I did that I read for because I knew my topic to begin with, even if I didn't know like my thesis necessarily immediately. And then like, okay, I can group them into paragraphs, and then it's like, okay, topic sentences and like concluding sentences.
Yeah.
That's right, my outline. So like that's easy. Whereas with the novel, it's like, nah, you got to do all of it.
For papers, I would always do something kind of similar. It's of course easier to do outlines for papers like you were saying, but I would always do the thing where I would get a napkin and just jot down the words. That was the feeling I wanted to go for in the paragraphs, and that was it. Like I can't do the whole thing.
I mean, that's still an outline.
Kind of. It is. It's not the outline they were looking for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah.
Ashley edits as she goes because I've been meaning to read it too since I'm a shameless pantser. Okay, yeah. Bella has to read it to like refresh/reset the brain to process what I've written. Yeah, I do that at the start of every writing session, unless it's like a chapter that like I had spent forever in my head writing. So it's like, oh, I know what the chapter is, so I can just move on.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to edit as I'm writing, I make a comment on the doc to remind myself to change something. Yeah, I do that too. I'm going to make a video about my writing process because it includes some minor edits and then comments in the side. So what I'll normally do is like if there's something that I need to research, I make a comment. Or if it's like insert description, or if it's like change this, but it's like we said earlier, like it's going to be a big change. Like I just make a comment.
Yeah.
People are talking about how much they hate teachers who judge you. Paperback Puns also said the structure is so important to screenwriting because 1 page of screenplay does not equal 1 page of prose. Yeah, no, definitely not. I tried writing a screenplay once and then I kind of just dropped it, but I still kind of want to.
I can't do screenplays. I took a screenplay class when I think it was like my first semester of my senior year. No, it just didn't. It was not for me. I can't do screenplays.
Do you want to talk about it, Amara?
It's totally different. Like I love it though, but it is very different, especially going from writing like a novel and then writing this, in some ways it's easier because I know my character better. I know the story that I want to tell, and the structure is helpful. But at the same time, my instinct is to go off on tangents and just to come up with stuff on the fly that I just want to throw in there. And every single time I have to take it out. So it's different. And it's hard because you have to be very specific, because one page should ideally equal 1 minute of screen time. So you can go over a little bit, or it can be a little under, like setup, but it's hard to like stick within that structure when you're a pantser.
Yeah, very much so is.
Yeah. I was doing a lot of like intro like meetings all virtually for my grad school program starting, and one of the questions was obviously like, what's your favorite book? And one of my favorite books is I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, and it's about a girl with schizophrenia. And there was a movie made and it sucked so badly that like when I read the book, I was like, oh, I want to write a screenplay of it. And I feel like at some point I might just like to practice screenwriting to see if I ever want to do it. Like,
it'll be your first fan fiction.
I guess. So yeah, like I might try that again. But I don't know. I feel like I'm weird in that I don't dream about my books becoming TV or movies. Like if the chance happened, I'd prefer TV to movie for some of my books, and for others, I'm like, I don't think I added enough world building for it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily want to write the script for that.
No, me neither. I'm there with you.
Yeah, I'm actually writing a TV show is like the idea of what it is. So it is a lot better because I'm setting up the world building. Like I'm just writing the first episode of what I hope will be a very long series. But I don't have to like dive into the whole thing or write the entire story. I just have to set up what it's going to be. So in that sense, it's a lot easier because I'm just focusing on one small piece of a larger picture. But still hard.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it's always hard to do like a different writing form than what is your primary one. Because like poetry, really hard for me. Like my mom likes some of the poems I've written. Obviously she's my mom, but like other people have also liked them. And it's like, great. I hated writing them. Like I like them and I don't think they're shit because I handed them in, and like I wouldn't have handed in something I think was awful, but like didn't have fun writing them, don't want to write them. And like short stories, it's like everything I write becomes long. So it's like it's not the thing for me. And it's not like I don't have a lot of filler in my stories. It's not like the problem where it's like, oh, if you cut stuff down, you could write short stories. It's like my ideas are just too big.
Yeah. That's a really big issue to learn, is like, how do you make a smaller idea?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot where it's just like either you have to not world build so much, even if it is relevant, you just like can't do it. Especially if you're doing fantasy, it's like doing a short story in fantasy is just like, maybe not. Maybe unless it's already established as a world.
Yeah, then you could do like a companion short story or something. 347 words by CB. Wrote 150. Re-outlining and fleshing out your villain. Love villains. The story that I was typing up for the past week has like multiple villains. So that's work, but like, I mean, it's fun at the same time. 232, cool. Alice came up with the name for the MC, Zenfia.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Izzy. We just finished our last sprint of the stream. So I'm sorry you missed that, but I'm glad to see you here. 653 words. Woo! Haven't been in a stream in ages because I was preparing for top surgery and just had surgery on the 1st. Oh, not a lot of writing happening, more sleeping. I mean, of course.
Fair enough.
You gotta heal and take care of your body and just do what you need to do. Paperback Pun says, I think screenplays help me become less attached to certain plot character points. Devin loves screenwriting. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm ever that attached to my characters, which I don't know if that's a good thing.
I feel the same way when people are like, no, I can't do anything bad to them. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever been at that point.
I'm super attached. When the emotional thing happens in this script that like flips everywhere, I was like in my room. I'm so glad that I was like not vlogging that day because I'm writing and I'm just like crying, like as if it was like happening, like I'm watching it or something. I'm just so attached to this character that I like knew what was happening and what I was going to write. I started having like heart palpitations. I was like, I don't want it to hurt, but I have to. And I'm like writing it and I'm sobbing and I'm like, I am a crazy person.
That's the thing is that when I'm reading, I sob like a baby. Like my empathy for the character is really high. But like if I'm watching TV or a movie, in most cases, like the actor, like the story is great and whatever, but like my brain can't get rid of the idea that like these are actors doing whatever. And so like I don't cry as much in movies. And then when I'm writing my own book, like I'm like, oh, I'm fine with torturing them. But like when I come up with my story ideas, like some just aren't that torture heavy on the main character. Like my first trilogy, like bad stuff happens, but like not a lot of bad stuff happens. Whereas like in this one, more bad stuff happens. And that's just how the story came. It's not like I don't want to hurt my character, so I'm going to save them from like what could have been a horrible situation.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Thanks for having this. I have to get ready for it.
Completely towards.
Sorry, what were you saying? That got cut up a bit.
Yes. So what I did is, I mean, I've been thinking about this story for probably a year before I decided to write it because I cannot do two projects at one time. I have to work on one, and I wanted to do the novel first, and then finally I have to put that one on hold to focus on the script because I can't do two things at one time, and I felt like this would be a better place to focus on. But I started out by just writing out just like a brain dump, a really messy kind of outline of everything that I saw for the whole series so I can know where I want it to go. I don't have to write that stuff, but it's important to know the arc you want your character to go on and where you kind of almost want them to end up so that you can start backwards from that. So I know where I want her to be, ideally if it was like 5 seasons from now. I have an idea of some of the things that may happen to her or what her overall, story is going to be, because then I can work backwards and figure out where does she need to start. And then I did a really crappy outline and then a better one. And I definitely recommend looking up, there's a couple books if you're looking to do like screenwriting. This is one that I love. It's super beat up because I've had this since like I was in school. It's a screenwriter's workbook. It's more for like feature length, but it is a really good one for figuring out structure and then just kind of doing some research on how you can adapt that to TV. Understanding structure is going to be super important so you don't make the mistakes I made, which is just throwing a bunch of crap that's never going to stay in there. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Cool. It is now 11:06, and I normally try to end at 11, so ran over a bit, which is fine. But if you ladies would like to like close out, maybe repeat who you are, where people can find you, and then I will close out at the end.
Okay. Amara, do you want to go first since you came in a little late there?
So you cut out what? So bye. So I did come in a little bit late. So yeah, so I guess I do. Do you guys want to know what I do? Like I have a channel here on YouTube. So I mostly vlogs and stuff. And a lot of sit down chatty videos, and it's a lot of fun. So you should. I think my stuff is down below, but I'm gonna try to do more lives. This was a little nerve-wracking, but I might do more of these as well.
Okay, so I'm Rebecca. My YouTube channel is ADHDWriter, and I talk about having ADHD and trying to write with it because that's a pain in the butt and it doesn't always work. So if you guys want to follow that process, you can go to that channel. I'm also on Instagram, and I think that's it.
I'm Zara Hoffman. I'm a self-published author of young adult paranormal romance. This is my YouTube channel. I do live streams every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I make videos about writing and musical theater, and I will be vlogging in October and November for Preptober and NaNoWriMo. But I don't think I'm going to be vlogging all of Millwordy because that would be a lot of stuff to do. So thank you for being on my channel. I loved having you both. And thank you to everyone who came to the stream. And I hope everyone has a good Sunday. Oh, and a good Labor Day tomorrow. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, true.
If you're in the US. So bye.
Bye, guys.